we are back and we are in the kitchen. So, this week you all got one of these cards. So it is Puffy Paint. So it's DIY Puffy Paint. Now, our ingredients, we have...
self-raising flour.
All we had here was actually wholemeal, so I'm hoping this works, but I think it will.
And some salt.
Salt. Paper plates.
Food colouring.
Food colouring, whatever colour you like.
And a little bit of water for later.
Water.
Yeah.
Because they're such small quantities, we're just going to mix them up in a glass each. So we've just got clear ones so you can see. You are going to need a tablespoon as well. And then what we're going to do is we have sandwich bags. These are really good to spoon the mixture in. And then when you finish, it can you can snip the end off and it will act like a piping bag. So then you can do sort of fine lines and words and whatever you like. So, to start off, we're going to combine the flour and the salt together in our jars. So we've got 1 tablespoon of self-raising flour and 1 tablespoon of salt. So we'll do 1 there and 1 in mine and 1 in theirs.
1.
Sharing is caring.
And 1.
So then we're going to just mix that around with the spoon. And then we're going to add very small amounts of water until you get a smooth. So I just put a spoonful in, and that wasn't quite enough. I'm just getting another. Actually, I'll get a teaspoon. That wasn't quite enough, so I'm going to go a little bit more. So you want to make it so it's like a thin paste, same consistency as smooth yogurt, stirred yogurt. So you just mix it up. I might have a bit too, no, that's all right. So I've used, my battery, I've used 1 spoon of water and 2 teaspoons, so 1 tablespoon and 2 teaspoons. And then it's sort of a bit sludgy. So, this is where we put our colouring in.
Mine's very bluggy.
You might need a bit more water,
Yeah, I
Erin.
think so. Oh, this looks good.
Oops, that's probably a lot of food colouring. You don't need too much.
Just flick straight up. Be careful.
Nice. So, I don't know if you can see that.
Okay. I'm just putting some red food colouring in. Oh.
So, once I'm done, and that's at the consistency that I want.
Oh, it's very good, Crystal.
Yeah.
If it gets a bit stuffed, maybe you need to get another spoon and scrape it off the back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some red. In there.
This might even be maybe a bit too thick, too thin, sorry. We'll see how we go. So then I'm going to pour it into a bag. You can also use Q-tips or a paintbrush or the end of a skewer or, toothpicks to blot it on. Get all the air out. And then another good idea too, what you can do is rubber band it so it's staying together. I don't have scissors, I'm going to get scissors.
We're getting there with the paint.
So I've got scissors. Now I'm going to snip the end off so it is like a piping bag. I'm going to do this just so I don't make a mess. You only need a tiny hole on the end. And then what we're going to do, I'm going to draw a flower. So I'm going to try and do this so you can see it. So then you just sort of push it out. So you're going to push it out. Oh, it's still not big enough. So because there's salt in it, that does make it quite thick. Quite like hard to get out of the little... There we go. That's great, Erin.
Well, thank you. Well, try not to press too hard because a big blob will come out.
Yeah. It is tricky. This is really good for kids' fine motor skills. Wow, a flower's hard to do right now. Oh,
It is a bit tricky.
Yeah.
I think with just self-raising flour will be much better than the wholemeal.
Yeah, because the wholemeal's adding a whole nother thick element to it, isn't it? We might have to put this in the fail basket, but we'll see how we go. Yeah, the wholemeal is quite thick. So I'm not even going to do a flour because I don't have the patience for that. So I'm doing a person. Oops. With a big leg.
Yeah, it gets a bit blobby with the wholemeal, so maybe just use the actual self-raising.
And see how that goes.
Yeah.
Alright. Once I'm done, I'm going to put him in the microwave. 20 seconds. We'll see how they come out. I think it was definitely the wholemeal that was definitely used normal because this is doesn't look the greatest at the moment. And what will happen is with the self-raising flour and the salt, it creates it to puff up. Still worked. So Erin's just popped hers in. So you can see that it's quite puffy. Obviously the thicker spots might take a little longer, but it does definitely still works. So you can do all different colours on there, and then chuck it in. I'm not sure what would happen if we... Oh, go Erin, look at her. That's
puffy.
Amazing.
Very, very puffy.
Just as a bit of an extra, let's see if we can put extra on. So I've just done some red circles around my little man, just a little experiment here. I haven't actually put things in for a second round, but let's see what happens. I'm only going to put that one in for 10 seconds and we'll see what happens. Yours looks very good, Erin.
Oh, thank you.
Very good. They will come out warm, so be careful for little fingers. Oh, that needs a little bit longer. Maybe it does need the full 20 seconds. This is a nice, easy activity. It doesn't have to be messy. Worked.
Looks good.
So you can do it and then put it back in. I'd go for 20 seconds at a time. Don't go any longer. Pull it out, have a feel, put it back in if you have to. And that's DIY Puffy Paint.
Have fun.